82 Chibok schoolgirls regained their freedom from the Boko Haram sect after 3 years in captivity. Their release was greeted with joy and celebration. However, several reactions have trailed the release of the girls. My guest is a member of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign group. Hello there, welcome to Dateline Abuja. I'm Gloria Umezuki. What are the issues that should be addressed following the release of 82 girls from the bondage of the Boko Haram sect? Are the families of the previously rescued girls in contact with the girls? These are some of the questions and issues we will be looking at in our interview today. But up ahead. President Muhammadu Buhari has pledged to ensure that rescued Chibok girls complete the education. He also promised that the girls will get all the necessary psychosocial support that they need and that he will personally supervise the process. We'll take a listen. It took over 3 years for 82 Chibok schoolgirls to regain their freedom after their abduction by the Boko Haram sect. The girls were immediately placed under the custody of the Department of State Services, where they were given medical care.
We will do the best we can, just like we did before for the other girls. So they are in safe hands. They're in complete safe hands, and there's no need for anybody to worry. We're going to do the best we can for them, that's for sure. And that will be the best that you can get anywhere in the world.
2 of the girls came with injuries, but they were not sustained during the rescue operation.
He is very pleased. He is extremely delighted about this development. Since the first 21 girls were released last year, he gave instructions to the security forces to leave no stone untouched until all the girls are released. This is the second batch. This is the result of the effort. The president has them in his mind on a daily basis. He has been quiet, but he believes in delivery as opposed to talking. So instructions are very clear. Go and get our girls back. He's very pleased and is going to receive them himself later this afternoon. You've seen them yourself. They are 82. They live in good form. 2 have injuries. 1 has a hand injury. 1 has a leg injury. But this is a result of earlier operation. It has nothing to do with the rescue operation. It was carried out clinically, successfully, professionally, without any hitch.
Later in the day, President Muhammadu Buhari met with the girls and assured them that the government will take care of their health and educational needs.
On behalf of the country, which I hope, having gone through what you have gone through, that you will mobilize yourself and continue education under the supervision of the federal government agencies in your area. And I assure you that the presidency will personally supervise the performance of those trusted with social welfare commitments made by the federal government.
The government has promised to engage the sect for the release of the remaining 113 girls, as well as all those held captive by the group. In our interview, Aisha Yesufu of the Bring Back Our Girls campaign group speaks on the latest release of 82 Chibok girls earlier abducted by the Boko Haram sect. Well, Mrs. Aisha Yesufu, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Well, the abduction of the over 200 Chibok schoolgirls, of course, gained a lot of consistent attention, the world over. And now we have the latest, which is the release of 82 of them. Does this give you a huge sense of satisfaction?
Definitely it does. It does. Right now we have 106 that have been brought back home, and we still have 113. So, you know, it's with over 2 years, we didn't see anybody. Over 2 years of our advocacy of the abduction of Chibok girls, not even one was found. And then today, right now, after the third year, we have 106. And so that's huge. And we're expecting that the rest will be back in no time. I mean, just imagine 82 families are going to experience undiluted joy. That gives all the satisfaction one can ever ask for. And we want the same for 113 more families to get that.
Now, the news came suddenly. How did it come across to you?
Well, it just broke over the social media. We just saw it's being reported, and we're like wondering. And of course, at first there was that apprehension and fear. Let this not turn out to be a false news. I mean, it's so devastating for the parents when they get their hopes high up and then it's suddenly dashed. And we've had such experiences before. And so there was this, you know, the fear, apprehension, and all of that. And then at the end of the day, when it was finally confirmed, just pure joy. And of course, after a while, seeing the confirmation, seeing the pictures of some of the girls around, and then realizing that there are still 113 out there, it sort of like just hit someone hard. But we know that at the end of the day, something is coming out of it, and we'll continue demanding until each and every one of them, each and every one of our 113 is accounted for.
You know, I asked because, I mean, just a few weeks ago, the BBOG berated the government's silence over this issue. I mean, there was a lot of talk about how slow the government is probably acting on this. I mean, the BBOG also sought audience with the presidency and was denied on several counts. So I'm just wondering, are you satisfied right now with how the government is going about this? We know for sure that the girls were swapped for the Boko Haram members. Are you satisfied with the price we have to pay for it?
Well, the price, there are three ways in which we bring up our Chibok girls. It's either negotiation, military rescue, or a combination of negotiation and military rescue. And we've seen that, of course, we're doing that combination. We're able to get 3 from indirect and direct effort of the military. But right now, what we need to understand is the fact that we used to have a terrorist group that would say they will never negotiate. They will go out there and get their prisoners. Our military have been able to degrade them to the extent that they are even asking for the negotiation. So that's something. But when it comes to the way the federal government has handled this disdainful silence that we had, it needs to be worked upon. 2015, when we met with the President Muhammadu Buhari, on 8th July to be precise, we did ask for a feedback mechanism. You can't just leave parents hanging out there. They're going through so much psychological trauma, a whole lot of mental trauma. Most of them are sick. Most of them are hypertensive due to the fact that their daughters were taken away. And then there's silence. There's nothing from the government. We saw when we did our 3 years commemoration. Parents wanted to meet with the government. They laid siege at the villa 3 times. It was just a statement that came out, and that's never good enough. And so we still say the way the government has been going about it, there's no feedback mechanism. It doesn't work. That's not the right way to do it. They can do it in a much better way. And of course, it's a little bit slow. We're talking about 3 years now. The Chibok girls, let's understand the fact that their rescue is not a privilege. Is their right as enshrined in the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So let's not ever feel that we are doing them a favor. They ought to have been protected. The Nigerian government failed them. The primary responsibility of government, like we all know, is the protection of lives and properties. It failed Chibok girls. The next best thing was to bring them back immediately. But right now, after 3 years, some are still coming back. But we are hopeful. But we say kudos to the Nigerian government. Even when the Nigerian government didn't know that it could do it, with the members of the Bring Back Our Girls movement, we knew they could do it. And that was why we kept pressuring them. That was why we kept demanding.
Where did the confidence come from?
Because we know we're a country that can get things done when we put our minds to it. And we know the terrorists they are not up to Nigeria, and they can never be up to Nigeria. Many people said to us, why are you not going to the terrorists to ask them to release the girls? And we said we didn't give them our mandate. We gave our government our mandate. And we know the Nigerian government, for what it is, it can.
Did you have opportunities to meet with the terrorists?
We will never take that opportunity, because our own is to look them in the eyes and wipe them out. We have no business meeting with them.
But you had such opportunities.
We've not had that opportunity, and even we will not take it, because our business is not with the terrorists. Our business is with the Nigerian government, and that Nigerian government, we told them they can, and yesterday we are saying it, they have been able to. We had high government official after two years in captivity coming out to tell them, maybe probably all the girls are dead. We said, no, they are out there. Today we have 106 to prove that they are still out there, and we're waiting for the remaining 113 to come back home.
I know sometimes the BBOG just might be bothered that the government might not be carrying the group along in some of its negotiations and the rest of it. But again, are you privy to information from international organizations who are helping helping the government on this?
Not necessarily. For us as a movement, we are not interested in per se having the information. But what we say that you need to talk to the parents. You need to let them. There has to be a feedback mechanism.